We are blessed this morning to welcome as our preachers 4 of our graduating high school seniors. And I invite the choir and the acolytes to come and join us out in the congregation.
Hi everyone, my name is Leo Meek and I will be attending UC Santa Cruz this fall. I'm going to leave behind my home, my family, my congregation, and my past life. I have no idea what is coming for me, and Isaiah had no idea what was coming for him either. Both of us are taking a leap of faith and we don't know what we're landing in. I don't really know what I'm doing. The difference between me and Isaiah is that I have amazing community supporting me. And I believe that I have a duty, just as Isaiah, to spread the message of my Savior. My congregation has gotten me this far, and I have no doubt that the lessons that I have learned from each of my communities will continue to help me throughout the rest of my life. The 2 lessons that I took away from this community was one of the sense of community and the other of acceptance. And the first, acceptance, like I associate religion a lot with like stringent like beliefs and like kind of like closed-mindedness, but this community really displays the sense of open-mindedness, and that I've really been affected by that, and I'm proud to bring that to Santa Cruz. And the other one is a sense of community. And whether, like, I remember one time this year when I was playing my water polo game for league championships against South Pass, and I looked up into the stands and I see Maria and Parker sitting there. And it's like, no one really cares about water polo, but the fact that they cared enough about me to show up really meant a lot to me. And it was more than like, that just made me feel warm. And as I leave to a new world, I believe that these are what I must take with me and share in my new life, because these are the messages that I feel are worth spreading.
Graduating from Marshall on June 4th, and will be attending California Lutheran University in the fall. And I'm here because I want to share with you a little bit about how Isaiah telling God, "Here I am, send me," resonates within my own life. Growing up, I was always told, like I'm sure many of us are, that God has a plan for me and it will all work itself out. But I'm the type of person that likes to have everything planned out and know my next 3 moves in advance. And if you think what I wanted didn't clash with what God had planned, then you're wrong. I used to get really frustrated when school or friendships or just life in general didn't work out the way that I had planned. So I would have a conversation with God, and I would tell him, okay, I'm ready. But the next day I would be back to doing my own thing. And this would happen again and again and again, until very recently. Around the time that I started talking to God differently, my mom had asked me if I wanted to go on a mission trip to Nicaragua. And I'll be honest, I was not up for it at the time. Giving up 2 weeks of my already busy summer just to work, no thanks. But my mom took me to the first meeting, and then the one after that, and the one after that, and before I knew it, I was all packed up and on a plane heading to Nicaragua. And it was exactly what I needed, just not in the way that I thought I wanted. Around that time, I started asking God and talking to him and saying, okay, I'm ready, but I need your help. I need you to be patient with me and give me your courage to give up the reins slowly. I can't do it all at once, but through you, I can do it. I know some of us have been on road trips before, and when you pull into that rest stop, the person that's in the passenger seat tells you, okay, I'll take it from here, I'll do the rest of the driving. That's kind of how I see my life right now. I'm in that rest stop, and I've been driving my whole entire life, and I'm tired. And I'm not sure how long we'll be here, but I know God is being patient with me, and soon I'll be the passenger and he'll be my driver. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the community of St. Mark's. You all have helped raise me in one way or another, and I'm greatly appreciative of that. I have met people here that I will never forget. Pieces of you guys will stay with me forever, and I'll share them with everyone that I meet. When I I leave for college, I will be making footprints on the world, and I'm glad to say that they started here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lucy Gringen. I graduate from Westridge School for Girls in a few days, and I'm going to Middlebury College next year. In today's reading from Isaiah, Isaiah says, "I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips. Yet my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts." When I read this, I recalled how in Greek myths, mere mortals are always destroyed when they see a god. When Isaiah sees God in his vision, he must be expecting that sort of wrath. He must be expecting God to think he's not good enough. But the true God is not what Isaiah expects. God does not blind Isaiah. Instead, God welcomes Isaiah by cleaning his mouth. In my time at St. Mark's, I have come to know that God, the God who makes an effort to bring people into his presence. I felt very alone when I first came to St. Mark's in the 7th grade, without a big community or a place that really felt like home to me. But in this beautiful community, I was welcomed into God's presence with open arms. I feel God here all the time. When I fill myself with pancakes after hiking for Haiti, when I carry the cross into the church, and when I feel the floor shake with stamping feet during the Easter Vigil sermon, I am in God's presence. 2 nights ago, I was welcomed into God's presence again when I met with the choir to rehearse today's offertory anthem. I was almost nervous to sing in front of a whole group of experienced singers, but their smiles, their encouragement, and their warm voices made me feel welcome to sing praises to God with them. I'm in God's presence right now, looking at all of you. As I think about the fact that I won't be here every Sunday next year, I can also appreciate how God has used St. Mark's to shape me for the journey to come. The beautiful community of St. Mark's, the holy feeling here of being worthy and being wanted, has given me immense faith in myself and in my God. With that faith, I know that I will be able to answer confidently, like Isaiah, when I hear God's call to action. When I look out at the world and I hear God say, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" The ultimate on-board question. I will have the faith that St. Mark's has given me and the strength to say, "Here am I, send me." Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nick Horner. I graduated from St. Francis High School last week, and I went to Miami University in Ohio in the fall. I've been coming to St. Mark's with my mom and dad since 2001, back in the days of Father Colville. And I'd like to start out by thanking each and every one of you for all your love and support throughout my childhood. Every Sunday I was here, I was greeted by a loving community that was always interested in my life, asking about my various sport events and my college search, and letting me know that they were praying for me and my family. I even remember seeing a newspaper article about a St. Francis football game pinned up on the board in the library, my name highlighted. It was this support that allowed me to grow and become the young man that I am today. As of last Saturday, I'm officially done with the first significant stage of my life. I've made it through high school and off to college. As excited as I am to begin this new phase, I'm nervous about all the negative possibilities that there are surrounding school. What if I don't fit in? What if I'm not good enough for my school? And what if I can't handle living away from home? It's questions like these that sometimes make me wonder if I made the right decision. However, because of the faithful community that has surrounded me since we began coming to St. Mark's, I'm not scared. I know that God will make sure that I'm in the right place, staying safe and true to my faith. So thank you all for helping me feel comfortable with moving on in my life. Readings like the one from Isaiah today have also showed me that it's okay to be afraid, as long as we can all trust in God and what He's doing in our lives. I remember when the four of us first met with Pastor Carrie to discuss us preaching today, and she told us that in the time of Isaiah, being in the presence of God was terrifying and not something to be desired. It was believed that you would die if you looked physically upon God. So for Isaiah, obviously, he must have been terrified. He describes what he sees as magnificent and heavenly. So Isaiah, being a normal person, would obviously feel that he's not good enough to be where he is. He even says, "Woe is me, I am lost, for I am a man of unclean lips." Isaiah was experiencing similar doubts as I am right now. Of course, they're on a completely different level, but they're still doubts and fears nonetheless. When Isaiah is touched by the cold and called by God, all of his doubts go away. Isaiah takes this leap of faith, knowing that God is protecting him and has a plan for him. I feel like a similar thing will happen to me. Of course, a seraph will not fly down and touch my mouth with a coal and all will be well. But there will be a parallel not only in my life, but in Leo's, Alex's, Lucy's, and Kaylin's as well. We'll have something painful happen to us, like the coal touching our lip, maybe a bad grade on a paper or a rough transition with a roommate or something. And then we'll have to take that leap of faith, trusting God, our friends, and our families, that they are supporting us and praying for us. It is this trust that will help us in our transitions and rough times. This is why I feel so blessed to have a community like we do here. No matter what happens in anyone's life, good or bad, we rally around them in thanksgiving and prayer. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us in our time here and for your continued love and prayers throughout the rest of our lives. Thank you.